don't come to Convergence if you're sick. And for sake, cover it when you cough or sneeze. Please wash your hands. Con crud is no joke for some of us. Please do not touch foodstuffs with your bare hands or feet. Do you want ghosts? This is how you get ghosts.
Hi, are you here for the book swap? Well, that's wonderful. If you want to leave a book or take a book, maybe sit, read, and relax, it's all free here. Well, I mean, if you're feeling adventurous, we do have our blind date with a book selection, so you could try out something that you might not have considered.
Book swap. Whether you want to give books, take books, sit, read, relax, or all of the above, it's always free. The book swap is located on the 6th floor Promenade alcove.
Oh, come on. We can go in for just a few minutes and we'll be just fine.
Nay, I shan't enter this party as we are currently in a plague. Besides, there be drugs and vapes in there, and I shall not partake.
We can just wear our masks. +3 against viral beholders.
I do not believe you are going to wear your mask the whole time that you're in there. You can't go 5 minutes without hitting your magical pipe.
Tally-ho.
Take -5 modifier for your magical pipe.
What did I tell you?
How you doing, little consumers? I just wanted to take a minute to thank each and every one of you little walking money bags for helping me keep my dying industry alive. You see, sometime within the last, I don't know, decade or so, smoking became less cool. Can you believe that? I couldn't.
I was pretty sure I was going to have to start selling used cars. Or timeshares or something. But then, our scientists came up with something that saved our bacon.
Vaping. I mean, it's gotta be healthier, right? It ain't smoke, it's just steam or something. And don't you love that you can get your vape juices and all the flavors of candy that you loved as a kid? On top of that, when you vape, ain't no one can tell you when you get to use it or not. It'll drive your parents nuts. You're not supposed to do it, so doing it makes you cool. If James Dean was alive, he'd vape.
So, let me give yous all the TRDL. I'm making money off of you wanting to be cool. So thanks for that.
Hi there, all you very nearly adults. I want to thank you for your positive responses to the advertising that was.
So we are going to get started. And welcome, welcome, welcome to this year's 2022 CONvergence. And thank you for coming to the Sandbox on this, our first event. Good job. Woo! All right, my name is Renee, and I will be your presenter for today. So before we get too excited about things, this is actual ceramic clay. Your projects will be fired. They will go in a kiln. However, they have to dry completely first, which means that they won't go into a kiln until next week, because they have to be dry, because I'm not going to upset the kiln gods by having stuff explode. Now, to that end, do I have this the right way? I do have that the right way. Go me. Now, I am going to need people to do something that is very important. If you wish to keep your lamp, I am going to need you, and it's one giant sheet broken up into several pages. So if you sign one of them, you're golden. And I'm going to have my helpers come up in just a minute. You will notice that there are numbers down the side. So just choose whichever one you really, really like. First name, last name, your badge number, because we're going to have your badge numbers on the bottom of these lamps. And then I can't see it because I got my glasses on. Email and phone, and then I have a pickup location. Inver Grove Heights, Plymouth, and Roseville. And after a certain date, we'll just pitch whatever's left into the garden. So that's why we need your contact information if you wish to keep your creation. So if I could have my assistants, please. There's 100 slots on 8 different pages. You only need to sign one page. If you could scatter these about the room, go ahead and fill those in, and we'll pass them around. Now let's go over what's in your bags. If you would like to open up your bags, you will find some articles in there. All right, so for those of you who would like to put on the apron is in the little plastic thing. So now is a good time to put on your apron. I have to say that the whispering sound of the plastic for the apron is really quite nice. Now, if you didn't get an apron, I think I have a couple left. If you didn't get an apron, I have 2 left. Okay. You didn't get a wick? Okay. All right, you don't want to use your apron?
No, so here you go.
Excellent.
Do you have an extra wick up here? I can bring it back to him
yeah.
since he's sitting right behind you.
There you go. I know it's really quite a fashion statement. And I also want to ask a favor of folks. I really want you to take pictures of your process. Take pictures of it. And then go to the sandbox section on the CONvergence website and please, please, please upload your photos. Please, please, please also make comments about, we super duper loved this. Renee is the bestest teacher ever. We were thoroughly entertained. She's so good, you should actually pay her. Well, my name is Renee Peterson, and I am actually a real-life teacher. I teach reading at Hope Community Academy. I am a potter, and I make a little extra money on the side with pottery. And my pottery is called Valkyrie Pottery. I haven't got a website yet. And I do historic replica pottery for Vikings. And apparently I am also now in business making little ceramic gnomes. I didn't think I was going to do that, but apparently I am. All right, so I'm also going to ask people if you have rings on. Now is a good time to probably take them off because otherwise they're going to get full of schmutz. So this is a leftover from last year. I don't know if anybody here did one last year and didn't collect it. But they are out on the table out there. Names are on the bottoms. But this is what the lamps look like. Now, the reason why this lamp is effective is, first of all, when you get your lamp, you're going to put oil in it. You can use vegetable oil, you can use olive oil, you can use citronella oil, not citronella scented fuel. That ends badly. Not that I would have any practical experience with that. Not at all. In your bags, there's a wick. So if you want to keep your bag, you can go ahead and put this in the bag. But this is the wick. And I'll show it to you now, and I'll also show it to you at the other end of the event. The reason why you have that peg in the center of your lamp is so that you can tie your wick around it. And your wick must be a natural fiber. Don't use synthetic, don't use wool, jute, hemp, in a pinch cotton. And you know how you tie your shoes? That's what you do. Only instead you just stop before you make the bow. So you just do that little shoe tie thing and you tie it on close to the top. And one part of the string is going to want to go up and the other part of the string is going to want to go down. So it goes down like that. And a lamp about this size, filled all the way up to the top with olive oil. Let it sit for 5-6 minutes so that the oil comes up your wick, because it's the oil that you're burning, not necessarily the wick, so that your oil can use the capillary action, come up to the top of your wick, and you can light it. Runs for about an hour. Highly recommend that you do these outside. Otherwise it gets a little smoky and sometimes a little stinky depending on what you're burning. But these are the lamps. People have decorated the outside of them. They have decorated the pegs. This one, Kit Noir. Kit Noir, are you here? Bueller? All right, so yeah, Kit Noir has this really cute little kit thing on it, and she put a little cat face here, and this one's got this really groovy, twisty thing, and this one has runes on it. So that's how these lamps work. Pretty simple. This style of lamp has come out of many, many Viking sites in Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Iceland. And I know because I just got back from there and I saw them. So this is what we're doing. And once we get started, the clay that you're working with today is stoneware. I made this one last night. This is what it dries like, and I did a fast decoration. This is what it dries like, this gray color, and we're going to put them in little trays, and we're going to put them up, and then on Sunday I'm going to come back and take them to the kiln. So, who's ready to make a lamp? All right. Now, if you need more clay, I got a wadge of clay up here. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take that clay and you're going to knead it a little bit. You want to knead that clay a little bit. All right, make it a nice ball. And now you're going to pinch off probably about the size of, I would say about a spherical dime. Yeah. What do you, spherical dime? Yeah. And you can always put more clay in if you need more clay. So you're going to set that off to the side a little bit. Round it out a little bit. Now what we're going to do is something called a pinch pot. This is exactly like what you did when you were in elementary school. So you've got this nice round thing, and you're going to take your nice big old thumb, and you're going to press into it, not all the way through. So you've got a big hole, just like that. And then you're going to start to pinch. So I am a righty, so I'm going to be pinching with my right hand, and I'm going to support the clay with my left hand. So you're going to pinch out from the center where you made your thumb hole, and just pinch. And can you see the? I can't see that. Is it clear on how I'm pinching? Okay, so you're going to pinch, and you don't have to pinch. You're not totally working out your aggressions on this little piece of clay, but you're going to make your little bowl. And I'm sure you see here on my bowl that I've got some, this side is thinner than this side, and that's okay. That's the really nice thing about clay, is that it's pretty malleable. And if you don't like what you did, then you just go, and you go, I'm going to make it differently. So it's totally acceptable. I see that the sign-up sheets are going around. Please make sure that you only have to sign one. All right, so I started over, poke my hole, pinch. So you have a little bowl like that, and you're supporting the clay with your other hand. Because when you're doing a pinch pot, your clay can get out of control super fast, and pretty soon you've got this giant amoeba thing with super thin walls, and you have no idea what it is. So so once you get that, you're going to, when you pinch, you're going to pull some of what's on the bottom out so that you're push with your thumb a little bit on the bottom out to the wall, and pinch a little bit, so it's a little bit like two actions. And when your wall is about 1/4 of an inch thick, and your bottom should be you should be able to feel a little bit. It's okay if you have a fat bottom girl there on your clay, because the fat bottom goes down first because gravity works. And you can have your lamp can be wide and shallow, because there were people who like to do the wide and shallow things. Now, I'm sure you're noticing that the edge looks like it's got some cracks in it. Well, okay, now I got to take this off because I'm supposed to have bifocals. But have you ever tried to walk with bifocals? Have you ever tried to take an escalator with bifocals? Oh my God, you're taking your life into your hands on that one. All right, so I'm going to set my little pot down in front of me, And the reason why I'm not using the plate is because the plate really screws up the video. Actually, I could maybe use this. All right, so I'm going to take both my hands. Can you see it on the screen okay? And I am going to pinch together and kind of rotate it a little bit. It should rotate fairly easily on your plate so that you're getting out the cracks. You are also supporting the rim. You're compressing the rim so that your cracks that you have, just do that. Just come together. Press down just a little bit. Now I'm sure you're noticing that the edge here is not super duper flat. It's okay for you to flip your little pinch pot upside down and gently push on it. You can rotate your piece on your plate so that you can do that. And if you want the bottom smooth without pieces of wood, apparently, all your clay is super duper fresh. It might still be pretty damp because I had to rehydrate it yesterday because the bags had holes in them and I didn't know that. I know. So if your clay is super duper juicy and sticky, I'm sorry. Do you want to know the secret to rehydrating clay? Water, yes. But if you put the clay into a plastic bag and you put a couple of tablespoons of water into a 25-pound bag of clay, and you seal up the clay and you put it in another plastic bag and seal that up, and then you submerge the bags in water, the water pressure will push those 2 tablespoons of water into the clay uniformly through capillary action and hydraulic. So if you want the outside of your little pinch pot nice and smooth, you don't have to press hard, but you have to press hard enough to work out the cracks. I personally am a fan of super duper smooth pottery. And it's too bad you all are super duper busy with con, because on Saturday I'm going to be up at the Crow Wing County Viking Festival. Yeah, I'll be, see you next year when we're back to the 4th of July like normal. Then you all can come up to the Crow Wing County Viking Festival. It is. It's possible that I don't know that you will be invading anything, but there are warriors that will be doing some invading, and you can watch them invade. Now, if you need any extra clay, I have extra clay up here. If you need that, just give you a watch. I ended up having to take some of my peg. All right, so when your bowl, your little cup is the way that you want it, now's the time to take that little knob of clay that you separated from at the beginning. Oh, and the water on your table, if you need a little bit of water, you're only going to need like a drop. You just a tiny bit, because your clay is still really wet. Just a tiny, tiny bit on the end of your finger to smooth out anything you need to smooth out. All right, now for the center peg. Are we ready to move on to the center peg? All right, you're just going to roll it in between your hands until you get kind of a bullet shape. You do want to have a fat end and a tapered end. And now, the toothpick. Dun, dun, dun. So with the toothpick, because remember, clay is technically a metal, which I think is kind of weird because of how it falls on the periodic table. But it's got this, since it's got so much water in it, capillary action plays a huge role in clay. So on the fat end of your center peg, you're going to score it, maybe poke a couple holes in it, and then set that down. And then in the very center of your little cup, you're going to score that as well. You're not going to go all the way through, but you're just going to score it. And then set your toothpick aside, and then get a little tiny bit of water, like 1 drop on your peg and 1 drop on the score inside your little bowl there. And then you're going to press your center peg, your stem, into the scores that you made. And with the water, you are now creating a bond with the clay underneath it because of our favorite thing, capillary action. Okay, we're going to take a little tiny break at this moment. Has anybody not signed a sign-in sheet? If you have not signed it, please make sure that you do. It is now decoration time. Yep. Now, typically, these lamps are not decorated because in the Viking era, these lamps were made out of earthenware, and they were made in an evening and then tossed into the fire, a cold fire, and burned the next night. They weren't particularly fancy things, but I've noticed that we are pretty fancy people. So if there is a decoration that you would like to have on your lamp, now is the time to do that. So I think that I'm gonna do something with my rim here. Compress it. Press it down a little bit. Flare it out just a little. Now when you get these will not be glazed. They will be bisque fired so that they will be porous. And depending on what kind of oil you use, it will eventually smell like that oil. How's everybody doing? Excellent. So please take pictures of your process. Remember to bring those pictures to the sandbox. Yeah, that's why I keep my nails pretty short. Yeah, I do pedicures quite frequently, so my toes look fantastic. My hands always look like a snaggly mess. My students always go, Miss Peterson, how come your nails are dirty? It's like, well, sweetheart, I do clay. Can we do clay too, Miss Peterson? Well, yeah. Yeah. Although with, because I work the K4 set for reading, the kinders and the firsties, typically we do polymer clay with them. Because their hands aren't very strong. You know, they're just missing the experience points. That's really what they're missing. That's about it. And I love that this whole crowd knows what I mean when I say experience points. Yes? Oh, we're going to go over that in just a minute. Could you grab me a piece of paper and a big black marker, please? All right, so we're getting to the point where some folks are finished. And for the most part, once you get it decorated, you are golden. So once you are done, if you are going to keep your creation, if you think that this is worthy of your backyard, hail, keep it. You are going to carefully flip it over. If there's room for you to put your first and last name, go ahead. But if there is not room for you to put your first and last name, then please make sure that your badge number is on it. For those of you not wishing to keep your lamps, that is completely okay. You can go ahead and bring the clay up here and it can go onto my plate. Nobody is released yet because we have cleaning to do. Thank you. All right, now I'm going to write down my email and put my email up for you all to take a picture of if you have questions, comments, concerns, or needs about your lamp. All right, so that is my email. Now, we here in the sandbox like to make sure that our spaces are clean when we leave. When you came in, the tables were clean. When you leave, the tables should be pretty clean. We know that we're going to have to wipe them off, but we have to be conservative because the plastic tablecloths that are currently in front of you is the only plastic tablecloths we have right now. So, if you are done with your lamp, oh, I forgot to set out the boxes. I'm going to have to set out the boxes for a minute, so excuse me. So the first step in cleaning up our mess today, because we made a glorious mess, is your pens. I want everybody to pass their pens all the way down so that they're at the ends of the table over there. Pass them all the way down over there. You may keep the plastic zippy bag, and you may keep the wick. If you do not wish to keep any of that stuff, there are trash bins at the back. Now, where my friend is standing up here, you will notice right there that there are the box top has to go with that one. That's the lid to that box. We need to be able to put the lid on the box. If you have a super tall lamp, it goes into that box right there. It has a orange, it's like an envelope box. And then people with a shorter lamp, go ahead and put them in the boxes here, or the boxes right here. At the back of the room, if everybody wants to look at the back of the room, you're going to see a big orange jug on top of a cooler. The water from your Dixie cups goes in there, so that when you leave your space on the table, there should be nothing there. We'll be able to get stuff wiped off, but I really need you all to make sure that your trash has been policed and that your chairs are pushed in. So before people start to leave, I would like to see a thumbs up if you really liked this activity. Thumbs up if you really like this activity. All right. Now thumbs down if you hated this and dude, I never want to ever do this again. All right. Remember on the sign-in sheet that went round, choose your pickup location. If you didn't get a chance to do that, please make sure that you've got that in so that we can make sure that we're picking up or that we're distributing your items to the correct locations. And locations will be contactless. And essentially what I'll do because I live in Inver Grove Heights, what I'll be doing for the Inver Grove Heights one is I will set a table on the side of my house by the driveway with the lamps on them. You can come and get them at any point in time. Just don't ring the doorbell unless you really want to talk to me, because that'll set the dogs off, and because, dogs, labs, and then Doom Butt, which is Max's nickname, will just wag his tail until, yeah. Do you have any questions? Yes. I'm sorry? I will notify you all via email or text that it is ready for pickup, because it'll be about a week and a half, 2 weeks before it comes out of the kiln, because I had to get into the correct kiln schedule, and I missed the bisque firing tomorrow. So put your finished pieces up here in the cardboard boxes or over here. If you do not wish to keep your clay creation, then I will take the clay up here. Thank you very much in advance for making sure that your area is clean. The plastic plates, all the rest of the plastic stuff, all goes in the trash. Extra clay? Mm-hmm. Oh, you're very welcome. Very, very welcome. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that can go in the regular one. Yes, ma'am.
So we're up in Duluth and I have access to a kiln. Can I bring them,
You can absolutely bring them home.
what cone they get fired at?
This is standard stoneware, so you, not 06, no, 6.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because 06 is something entirely different, yes. So if you want to be the last to leave today, and just clean up your space. And we're going to put yours in a special spot because I want these to dry out. And the best way for them to dry out without me wrecking anything and keeping them a little bit easier for me to transit is they're going to dry here, and I'm going to come back here on Sunday.
We can just, if I'm gonna take them, we can just bring them up.
You want to bring it up to your room?
Yeah, unless.
No, you can totally bring it up. I think there's, if you want to use this box right here, go ahead and use that box. I'll take the extra wad.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mine didn't turn out well.
You didn't turn out well? Did you want to try another one, or or just the experience was good enough?
Yeah, I had fun.
Excellent. I'm glad you had a good time. Do we need an extra box? I have an extra box right here for you to put stuff. There's an extra box top right here. I have more boxes. More boxes right here. I'll take that. Did you have a good time? Yeah. Excellent.
I live out of state. Is there like a way I could pick up my pot and fire it at home or something?
Absolutely. You can take it with you right now if you want to.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to put it on the paper plate and what I would do is put it on the paper plate and then take all the plastic stuff, your trash, pack it around the pottery, and then put it into a Ziploc bag. Yeah, if anybody has a kiln at home that they want to use or have access to a kiln, you can totally take your piece now. But if you don't have access to a kiln and you want it fired, I will happily do that, and we'll contact you if you want. Yeah, you should want it back because you put it in the dish with your name on it. So, well, I have some more room over here, and there's another box over here. You have a little nugget? Well, then I'll put it back in the bag because I apparently have to make a lot of gnomes by Yule. No, I have to make gnomes. Yeah, I gotta make gnomes. Those little gnome butts. They're super cute. Yeah, they're adorable. I saw these gnomes at a garden store, and I just couldn't help myself. So I bought a couple of them, and I went, I can make that. So I did. Did you have a good time? Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad you had a good time. Oh, the pens go at the end of the tables, and our helpers will put those where they need to be. You're very welcome. Have an excellent con. Hey, sweetness. Did you have a good time?
I did. Thank you. I give you a back hug.
Yeah, because our hands are all...
Yep. And notice hand not touching.
Yeah. Because the hands are dirty.
I go put dragons out now.
Yeah.
Should I really get the extra clay?
I will take that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Got a couple of things for you. We have some extra aprons, two
Okay.
that were not used.
All right.
You get one of these.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
In fact, I do.
And the lady from the autism room, she wanted me to give you her card. She thinks what you do here would actually help with those on the spectrum.
Yes, it does.
Yes. And in fact,
Click.
I told her, I said, I'm going deaf in this year. This is the first time my ears are not ringing with you doing this class.
Oh, well, I've had a lot of voice training,
Oh,
and
thank you.
I teach people how to read, and part of teaching kids how to read means that I have to teach them how to use the muscles involved here, because this is articulation,
It is.
as well as your breathing apparatus involved in this, in order to make sure that what you're saying comes out correctly.
It really is.
Because, and this is where some of the weird accents always throw me for a loop, because I have to wrap my tongue around what they're saying.
Exactly.
Yep, those are that's 8 pages.
I don't know. I didn't count. I believe so.
As long as it's 8 pages, we're all good. My hands are really
3,
gross.
4, 6. You have them numbered, so yes, 8 pages. Yeah.
8 pages. That goes right in here, because those will be going home tonight. And I'm gonna put this in here.
But yeah, no, I've actually done, and I actually got mine back. And I know you said not to burn them inside. I live in a studio apartment which has large windows, and I was able to actually burn it on a windowsill.
Yeah. It's just that most people live in houses with drywall.
Which aren't completely sealed in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been grabbing photos. Is sending them to that address okay?
Yes, sending them to that address is perfect.
And the only oil I had was an olive oil.
Yeah, that's what I
which had
use.
been infused with rosemary and thyme.
So it must have smelled really weird. Did it smell good?
It actually smelled kind of good. But again, like I said, windows open, having that breeze and having just that little flame with that oil coming up of it. It was like
Sometimes a flame
yeah.
is what you need. It doesn't have to be a big flame. It doesn't have to be a giant fucking roaring fire.
Exactly.
You know, it just has to be a flame.
Yeah.
And there's something that goes straight back to your hindbrain. And it does something amazing back there. I don't understand it. I really, really don't.
I know. I was burning it to give people hope because I live in South Minneapolis. And it's like,
Well, it's a hard place to live.
Yeah.
I grew up in South Minneapolis, 5200 33rd Avenue South.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keewaydin was my school.
Oh my goodness.
Not only did I go to Keewaydin, but I also taught there.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
I'm on 28th and Park. So.
Well, yeah. So you're up there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit closer. And it's one of the reasons why I go home at night. Because people are like going, why did you go tell her? I live a 5-minute drive from here. Why would I? I can go home and cuddle with my kitty.
And sleep in your own bed. And have your own bathroom. And your own refrigerator with your own food. And you don't have to wait in lines. And you can have more than rice.
Very true.
And granted, don't get me wrong, I like rice. I really, really do. But sometimes you just need not rice.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although rice and pudding is kind of nice.
Go there.
Yeah, stop right now.
I have to get back to my lab.
All right.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thank you so much.
Oh, yes, you're welcome. All right, so my friends that are still here, everything is going okay? You can go ahead and be artsy fartsy.
Does this go into the tall bin? This looks like it should.
It can. And then once the boxes are complete, they're going to go up on the very top of those 3, and I will grab them on Sunday.
I am not touching it.
Okay.